Who wants to go camping with Grammy? Hello family, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Vicki and you're with Grammy in the Kitchen. You saw the video where we talked about the camper and why we chose this one. Now we're going to get it set up to go camping. I am not running out to the store to buy the things that I want to live in this camper permanently, such as dishes, pots and pans, towels, all the things. So we're just borrowing from the house and we're going to be using it while we're camping. So I brought some dishes. And this is just my everyday dishes. I'm borrowing silverware and some scissors. I'm bringing 2 total sets of silverware. That should be enough for the husband and I for a week of camping, as long as I stay on top of the dishes, which I usually do. I'm bringing 2 bowls, 2 small plates, and 2 large plates. That's probably going to move around in that cabinet. Sorry, the lighting is really bad. I don't have lights on. I do have the battery turned on to run these fans in the ceiling just to help the air circulation, but I'm not turning the lights on because I don't want to kill my battery. So I'm using my own oven mitts and pot holders. It's the same ones we use at home. We're just bringing it with us. I brought some trash bags. This is actually trash bags that was in our camping supply when we used to go tent camping with the kids. I probably should bring some more bags in here. I think it's only 2. I'll bring some more bags in. We'll leave that out as a reminder. I'm bringing my pour over coffee. I do enjoy cold brew coffee, and that will be going with us. So this has to come so I can have some pour over coffee when I let my coffee grounds seep in some cold water. My coffee filters. I'm bringing my mocha pot so we can have espresso. I have a kitchen knife. Now this knife actually lives in my camping supplies, and now it can just live in this camper. Barbara, my daughter, had bought me these coffee cups a couple years ago, and it usually stays in my camping supplies. So I have them wrapped up with a dish towel. I'm going to put those right up here. So as the trailer is moving down the road, we don't have to worry about them moving and breaking. You know, I probably should put them in a plastic bag just for extra security. And then I have a travel coffee mug. We have a plastic cutting board. I'm just going to put that in the sink. and a grill spatula that we could cook on the grill. And you know what? It doesn't fit in here. Let's put it down here. I have a little bit of heavy duty foil. Might have to bring my foil from home. We have a pack of playing cards for when the husband and I are bored and we want to play cards. I'm going to take a couple of these grocery bags with me because I know once we get to the campground, once we set up the trailer, we're going to run to a local grocery store and pick up a few things we're going to need that I don't have in the house, because I am bringing protein from home, and most of the items we're going to need for side dishes, we're bringing all that from the house. We just need a few vegetables and a few little odds and ends. It is very warm in here, family. All right, let me run back in the house and grab another bag I have ready, and I'll be right back. And this one has, sorry you're wobbling, you're actually sitting on my bed. I have it in bed mode, and that's where you are. But this has all the food we're going to need for the week, minus protein, minus fresh vegetables that I want to get once we get to our location. But I am bringing a lot of things from home. Now, you know we were supposed to be making chicken broth sometime soon, but I do have this organic chicken bone broth that I picked up from Lidl's. We're going to use it. I'm wondering if I should wait to put my groceries up there, because I'm wondering if it's going to move. And I don't want anything to break open, because we use a lot of glass jars in Grammy's kitchen, and I don't want them to break. So I think I'm just going to leave everything in this bin, minus the things that won't break. So we have the husband and my drink packets. I'm bringing extra gallon and quart size Ziploc bags. Once we go back in the house and I'll start pulling the meat from the freezer, I'll tell you what our menu's going to be. I always plan a menu when we go on vacation. That way I know exactly what I need to bring from home and exactly what I need to buy from the store. We don't necessarily say, okay, on day 1 we're going to have this, on day 2 we're going to have that. I plan a menu, how many dinners and breakfasts I need while I'm on vacation, and then whatever night we decide we want to have chicken or pork or beef or even seafood, we'll just pull that item out of the freezer or out of the refrigerator and we will cook it accordingly. We're going to be gone for 5 days. We need 5 breakfasts and 5 dinners. You know how we do things. Lunch is always left over from the night before. We're only going to make 3 dinners. And the reason for only 3 dinners is the husband wants to go out to eat at a local restaurant while we're on vacation. And then the 5th night will be eat whatever is in the refrigerator. Let's get rid of everything. So we're only planning for 3 dinners and 5 breakfasts. So I have a little bit of cumin. I'll explain what that is for. I have a chicken season mix. I'll explain that to you. Plus I have some rice. I'm going to put all these quart-size Ziploc bags in another Ziploc bag. have less of a mess if it busts open. But I think I'm just going to leave everything else in here. And once we get to the campground, and we unpack, I can tell you everything that's going to be in here. So I need to find a secure place for this. I think the bathroom closet's going to be a good spot. It'll have less moving around room. And I did bring another pack of trash bags. And then last year when we went camping, and Amanda's friend Heather, if you're watching this video, hello, I miss you. She brought me 2 things of Cafe Bustelo espresso. I'm just going to let that live in the camper because we have our mocha pot. And now we have espresso. I have some leftover forks, knives, and spoons from last year. I'm going to let that live in the camper. Plus I have another small cutting board. I'm going to put my coffee maker. Now this is just a stovetop percolator coffee maker. I've had this probably 30 years. I cook it on the camp stove all the time when we have coffee. I figure we would just keep it. I prefer drip coffee, don't get me wrong. And that way we can cook it inside or outside because we are taking our camp stove with us for those nights we want to cook outside, and if the weather is bad we can always cook inside. I have some detergent. This is a small bottle of Dawn and Palmolive, whatever that cheap brand is, and I had a little bit of each one. I just mix it together and it's in a Ziploc bag to keep it from making a mess. I'm going to put that in the sink. Hopefully the lid is on good because I don't want a mess. And then I have some dish towels and dish rags, plus what we have covering our coffee mugs and covering that, plus that chef's knife. Okay, so we got all the food items in the closet in the bathroom. I need to take the 2 storage bins, plus I have 2 more in my car in the house, so we can go ahead and put clothes in here. And we need to get the meat out of the freezer. So let's go in the house, do what we need to do in there. We'll come back out here and finish what we need to do out here. I have the refrigerator turned on. And I have the freezer turned on because this is a 12-volt refrigerator, so it works off a battery. We do have 1 solar panel, which I've mentioned this before, on the roof that will charge the battery. Plus, when it's plugged into the truck as we're going down the road, it will also keep it cold. And while we're at the campground and we're plugged into shore power, it will also charge the battery to keep that cool. So let's take this in the house and let's go get our clothes together. And then I'll show you the proteins we're going to carry and the menu that I picked out for this vacation. Okay. I'm going to leave, I just turned the lights out. I'm going to leave the fans on just so air can circulate, but let's go in the house. So let me start off telling you what our menu is going to be. Now, like I said, when we were in the camper, this is not going to be day 1, day 2, day 3 kind of meals. We're going to cook dinner 3 times. The first one we're going to do tacos with rice and refried beans. The second meal is going to be ribs, baked potatoes, and baked beans. And the third meal is going to be a spatchcock chicken. We made this together 2 months ago. So those are the 3 meals we're cooking. So I have a rack of spare ribs. I got this on sale at Lidl's a couple weeks ago. It's been in my freezer ever since. It was $1.99 a pound, and it's 5.31 pounds. That is more than the husband and I need, but I didn't cut it in time to make 2 meals, so we're taking the whole thing. I have a pound of organic hamburger. That's for the tacos. I have 2 8-ounce portions of breakfast sausage and 2 half-pound portions of bacon for 4 breakfasts. One of the sausage is going to be gravy biscuits, and there's always leftover for a second breakfast, so that's our 5 breakfasts right there. I have a pound of butter. I think that's going to be plenty. The chicken. And then I'm taking 2, I think they're 8-ounce measure of sharp cheddar cheese, because I want to make macaroni and cheese, but I'm undecided if I'm going to do a good quality box macaroni and cheese or if I'm going to make homemade macaroni and cheese but use store-bought pasta. I'm undecided. So this is going to go into the refrigerator until we leave, and I'll put it in a cooler with ice, and then once we get to the campground, I'll put it in the refrigerator. I do have the refrigerator turned on in the camper, but because it's on solar power, I don't know if it's going to die in the middle of the night, and I don't want to lose this much meat. Maybe once we're hooked up to the truck, I can put it in there. I think I'll put it in there tomorrow. One of the breakfasts we're planning on having is French toast. So I need to make sure I take some maple syrup with us. I keep this gallon in the refrigerator, and then I just pour it in a mason jar. That way it's easy access. So this is going to go with us. Plus I have some barbecue sauce that I made last night's dinner. You've probably already seen that video, but we had pizza and wings. So I'm taking this barbecue sauce with us. And we're only taking a half gallon of milk. I just picked this up this morning. I do need to separate the heavy cream from this. And I am taking homemade sourdough loaf bread. It's probably not going to be enough. I might have to supplement with store-bought bread, but that's okay. Tonight, before I go to bed, I'm going to go ahead and cook a pound of bacon, and I'm going to scramble some eggs, toast some bread, and I'm going to make us some bacon egg sandwiches because we're leaving early in the morning, and yes, we're leaving tomorrow morning, and I'm not going to feel like getting up earlier to make breakfast, so I'm going to make breakfast tonight, and then all I have to do is warm it up, and we'll have road food. As for lunch, we're just going to stop at a rest area. We will have things to eat sandwiches. We'll have peanut butter and jelly. We'll have some bread. And we'll have some snacky foods. So we can actually just go into the camper and have lunch. And then once we get to the campground, we'll set up. And then I can start cooking dinner. So I will see you tomorrow once we get to the campground. I can't wait, family, and I'm so glad you get to go with me. I'll see you tomorrow.